thank you all so much for being here. This is Beyond Differences, No One Eats Alone workshop. We are super excited to have you here with us. My name is Frederick. My pronouns are they, them in English and they and a in Spanish. I'm Beyond Differences Professional Development Program Manager, and I am super excited to be here with you all and with my fabulous colleagues and the brilliant youth on our national team board. And so we are going to jump right on in. Alyssa, take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm the Director of National Programs here at Beyond Differences, and what we really hope that you walk away from this workshop is, one, to feel empowered to support students on how to lead No One Eats Alone. Two, that you gain practical tips on how to run a successful day of action, and then get familiar with some of our Beyond Differences lesson for No One Eats Alone that are optional for you to do leading up to No One Eats Alone Day on February 16th, just to get students familiar with the term social isolation and the idea of creating social connection.
Thank you, Alyssa. All right, so before we go any further, we do want to make sure that we are addressing folks' accessibility needs as much as possible. You can scan this QR code or click the link that we just dropped in the chat and go to this Jamboard, and you can share any access needs that you have. We will be reading the chat aloud as much as possible. We definitely don't expect y'all to be on camera if you don't want to be. We will be sharing the resources and the slides via email afterwards as well. And if there are any other accessibility needs that come up during the course of the conversation, please feel free to add those in there. I will check this periodically throughout the conversation. And I think that it should be anonymous. And so if you've never used a Jamboard, we will be using Jamboard today as well. On the left side of the screen, you have the control panel, and below the big circle with the cursor in it is a little outline of a box with some lines in it, and that's the sticky note. And so you can hit that and it'll bring up a sticky note, and you can choose your color and then just type directly in there and hit save, and it'll pop up on the screen, and we can see the results there. So that is our accessibility check-in. And then I am going to pass it over to Sally.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to just go over community agreements. First and foremost, be fully present and take care of you. Respect confidentiality. Practice empathy and non-judgment. Use I statements. Take space. Make space. Assume good intent. Lean into discomfort with curiosity. Take responsibility for impact. And stay muted when not speaking.
Thank you, Sally. Yeah, we've got a pretty good group here, so please do stay muted if you are not letting us hear something from you. Next, we'll go back to Alyssa.
All right, No One Eats Alone Day, what is it? So we want to use this day of action as a way to encourage our youth to sit with others, find new friends in the lunchroom, and model ways to end social isolation in the lunchroom. And this year, our theme is Let's Grow, Planting New Connections. And this theme is associated with helping encourage students to grow out of their comfort zone and to meet somebody new that they normally wouldn't. It is a positive prevention program for grades 5 to 8, so the lessons are also ideal for those grade levels. And it was actually listed as a top recommendation by the U.S. Surgeon General on establishing social connection in schools. And lastly, it's been celebrated for over 11 years in all 50 states, reaching over 1 million students annually. I do want to add that when educators sign up for No One Eats Alone Day, that means that you have access to the curriculum to help your students learn more about social isolation and how to create more social connection, as well as access to the 2 main activities we have planned for No One Eats Alone Day, which is a community mural, which we'll be going over and actually experiencing in just a few minutes, as well as access to the conversation cards that are intended to be distributed in lunchrooms on lunch tables for students to connect with somebody new. And you can see here, please note that the materials in your belonging box, or I think it's has been formerly known as an activity kit that is shipped to you when you register for No One Eats Alone Day. They may look slightly different from what you see here because this is when we originally piloted it. But the idea is that you are working with your students to create a collaborative community garden mural that can look something like this. Here are some examples of the prompt of how students and teachers responded to the prompts to create this. And actually, I'm going to pass it over to our National Programs Associate Simran to show you and unveil the contents of that box.
Cool. Hi, everyone. Real quick, as always, we put a lot of thought and care into designing our belonging boxes. And so I'm excited to present this year's belonging box. As you can see, when you get your belonging box, it'll come in a cardboard box like this, and you'll have a purple backpack that says No One Eats Alone on it. And when you reach right in, we have a packet of art supplies that are essentially everything that you need to conduct the Let's Grow Planting New Connections art activity. It comes with a 5 by 7 feet mural paper that you could use as your foundation. It's really huge. We also have a large No One Eats Alone sticker decal that you can put anywhere on your mural. Probably it'll go in the center. Here we have a bunch of paper cutouts. We'll have various colors of flowers in each kit, and we'll have clouds and paper leaves that students will use to write their responses on. The prompts and questions that they'll be using will be discussed a little later on in this presentation, so I won't go over it right now. And lastly, in that packet, we'll have a bunch of stickers that you can pass out to your students. Oh, I don't know if you guys could see it. There you go. They're cute. Next, when you probably reach into your No One Eats Alone backpack, you're gonna put your hands on an activity card. This basically has all the instructions and teaching tips that you'll need. It also has the prompts that students will be using to fill out their paper cutouts. A couple other things that we have in this kit or in this belonging box are wristbands, balloons of various colors. They also have the No One Eats Alone logo on it that you can use to decorate your classroom. When you blow these up, they're really, really pretty. And there's also one basil pop-up planner that you could use to either grow in your classroom with your students or pass out to that one special student that you thought really shined during No One Eats Alone. And yeah, those are all the items that we have in our belonging box this year. I am your girl for all things belonging box. So if you have any questions about, where is my box? Can we have this box shipped to another location that we have, that I haven't shared yet? Please feel free to reach out to me. And if you haven't signed up yet, there are still supplies that can be confirmed for you. So yeah, thank you.
Simran, can I ask a question that someone asked last session? How
Yes.
many students, I don't know how to word the question. How many students are the supplies good for? Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It all depends up to how an educator wants to distribute the supplies, but each belonging box can accommodate up to 200 to 400 students.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Simran.
Yeah.
And I am going to turn it over to Sally to introduce the fabulous members of our National Teen Board. Thank you all so much for being here with us today.
Hi there, I'm Sally, she, her, and I am the Director of National Youth Programs, which gives me the honor to be able to work with 40 incredible youth activists from across the nation. And together we work to create what Simran just showed in the box. And so the best way to reach young people is by working with other young people. And so I have with me today Sophie and Sophia. Sophia is from Oregon. Sophia is from the San Francisco Bay Area. They're part of a larger team of 7. The other ones that were on the East Coast and the Midwest were on the earlier call. And I'm so excited to have them here today because they're going to walk you through the reasoning and the thinking behind the Let's Grow project, and also facilitate doing it with you today here in this really, really fancy, incredible Zoom room. So let's just start. Can we have the slide up of the different pieces?
Yes, one moment. All right.
So
Work.
Sophie, can we start with you? And we're just going to talk really quickly about how this mural works and all the different pieces that you put together to create it. So can you explain to us what the cloud is? By the way, all of these pieces we were just shown in Simran's box, and we're now going to go over the prompts. So go ahead, So.
Yeah, for sure. So the cloud represents something that is difficult and something that it's a way for students to acknowledge how even though something might be difficult, it allows you to change and grow, like kind of like a rain cloud, how even if it's like a rainy day, it can help a flower grow.
Terrific. And I remember when listening to your team put together this project, it was really important, and you all fought very hard to have this one element because they wanted to have that, to not shy away from kids talking about challenges, but actually to lean into and give them a safe place to talk about it. And I'm going to show you some examples of the wonderful things that came out of the cloud. Okay, so Sophia, can you tell us about the flower?
Yeah, so we for the flower, the students write down something that they do that helps someone else shine or like helps others socially connect. And we thought that was really important because like kids will learn about their common interests, and there is like a lot of difficulty with social connection in that like middle school age range, and that seems like a good way for them to get to know each other.
And then, so can I take back to you for the last one?
Yeah. The leaves are a way or to like express something that makes you hopeful or something that you are looking forward to in the future.
Okay. All right. So should we go ahead and Simran is showing all the little things. Thank you. Okay. So that is the reasoning behind these. And then let's give it a go, right?
All right. And Encore, you have a Jamboard for us, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Right now, I'm going to drop in the chat a Jamboard we've prepared to simulate the No One Eats Alone activity. And so as you work on it, you can imagine using the materials we're going to be sending out as a part of No One Eats Alone. And so you can imagine what the students are doing when you make the mural at your school.
So the National Team Board prompts are on the Jamboard itself, and you'll see me because you can see my little face next to the Jamboard, and I'm going to put up the answers that I've gotten from doing this with, oh gosh, over 200 different, actually over 300 students, some examples of what students across the nation have said in response to the different elements. So we're going to start with rain cloud. And think about a challenging thing you faced and write down one lesson you learned from it.
And again, if you are new to Jamboard, you've got your controls over here on the left-hand side. You can select your sticky note icon, choose your color, type right in here, and then hit save. And it pops up on the Jamboard, just like magic. Thank you, Google. We have moving cities, changing careers. Oh, I think we accidentally cleared the frame. Maybe that's why they're discontinuing Jamboard. And Nancy, I see your question in the chat. Yes, all of our activities are intended for 5th through 8th grade. They are flexible. They can be done with lower grades or older grades, but they may need a little bit of adjustment on your end as the educator to do them with different grade levels. Let's see.
What was the prompt? I'll put it in the chat. for the
Think
slide.
about the challenging thing you faced, write down one lesson you learned from it. It'll also be going back into the Jamboard momentarily.
Okay. Oh, you're good. Thank you.
Yeah, that one button can be hard. Moving to a new city, starting a new job in a much larger school site, I learned that I can do hard things. You can do hard things. Getting myself organized in a new job.
I'm sorry,
Always be kind to others.
I was looking at the Jamboard when you clicked on the prompt. What do you click the prompt to get the sticky?
It is in the left-hand side. There's like a little control panel, and underneath the big cursor icon, the one underneath that, the little outline of a rectangle with the lines is the sticky note.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, we got lots of things happening. Low morale at school. Oh, okay. Low morale at school and leaning into the positive instead. I had to change schools 3 times in 1 year. Oh my gosh, but now I have friends all over the city. Moving to a new city, I learned that I'm capable of adjusting to new people and places, and also learned that I'm capable of spending time alone. That is an excellent skill to develop. Sometimes friends don't act in ways we expect them to. I learned not to expect people to feel the same way I do, and that not all conflicts can be resolved. Oh, that's a hard lesson too. Having many bad days and trying to think more positive to see the good within the bad, having to manage a larger team than anticipated, having to learn the different personalities and how to approach everyone. Absolutely. I learned that meeting new people is less scary than I thought it was. Oh, I love that. My mom got sick, but I learned how to take care of her, and my family is proud of me. Teaching self-contained for the first time, I learned my students are amazing. Yes, I'm sure that they are. When people are lashing out, they just want to be seen, shown loving kindness. Wow, y'all are amazing. I think I got them all. Starting my doctoral studies. Those are some impressive rain clouds you got there, Sally. Setting boundaries in toxic environments. Oh, y'all. I learned that it's okay to let go and let people learn on their own. I can't protect everyone. That is also a hard lesson. Finishing grad school, working full-time, this taught me a lot about time management and prioritizing. Yeah, I would guess so. All right, 1 more minute for this, and then we will move into our next activity, or our next portion of the activity. Starting my doctoral studies, I learned to be afraid and still continue the journey. Love that. Afraid, but I'm going to do it anyway.
This board is making me want to go get my doctorate.
Right? All right, fantastic. Want to keep moving forward, Sally?
Sure, let's do the flower. Sophie, can you read us in the flower prompt?
Yeah, so for the flower, you write down one way that you can help other people shine or feel socially connected to each other.
We've got include them in group activities. I added compliment strangers' outfits or accessories. This is one of my favorites. Join them in the activities that they want to do to show that you care about them and what they like. Not always your needs, but theirs too. Absolutely. Ooh, get off my phone and make eye contact. Introduce them to your friends, greeting them every time you see them. Notice something different about someone. Speak Spanish. Sí. No worries, Ravina. You walk safely. Complimenting progress and not just results. For example, you worked so hard instead of that's good. Love that. Smile, invite, and join. Ask them how they are feeling in an authentic way. Yeah, sometimes how are you can feel really like, oh, I'm fine. But an authentic inquiry into how someone's doing can be really a great way to connect. Greet them with a smile at the door every day. No, just because someone is quiet doesn't mean that they're shy. Just say hi. All right, maybe 2 more minutes for our flowers to bloom here. Smile and say that you are, smile and say, glad you're here today. I heard, or I saw recently a teacher saying what a difference that makes when a student's late to class, instead of commenting on their lateness, just saying, I'm so glad you made it. And what a difference that feels like. Appreciate them for their small efforts. Love it. All right, 1 more minute on this one, and then we'll move to the next prompt. Share a smile with someone. I love it. Get those mirror neurons working for us. Lots of smiling on this board. I like it. And you can imagine how much prettier this looks when all of these are on flowers instead of just squares. All right, Sally, do we want to go to the next prompt?
Yes. Sophia, can you read us into our next prompt, please?
Yes. Write down one person, thing, or activity that makes you feel hopeful.
We've got my kids on here. Not my kids, y'all's kids, somebody's kids. And in the chat, we said, Ganesha says, absolutely, smiling at tardy students makes them feel less bad about being late. Yeah, as a perpetually late student, I super appreciate it. When people say I look beautiful in my hijab, art, observing the small wonders of nature, my arts and crafts, watching the ocean waves, yoga, when people notice and match my energy. Ooh. When I see young students resolving conflict on their own, that is exciting. And Pamela, the question is one person, thing, or activity that makes you feel hopeful. When people trust me and are not afraid of me. Being with people who see me, when my students feel confident in class. More of my kids. When students reach out for support. My strong AAPI community.
What was the question again? It's write down one person, thing, or activity that makes you feel hopeful. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Music, sunsets, seeing the sunset after a long day, all those beautiful colors the sky shows. When I'm seen, heard, and validated. When my mandated students are able to think and share their inner thoughts. Ooh, love that. When students ask for the help they need, music. Seeing students on here lets me know that students actually care about helping others. So happy, absolutely. When a child smiles, when students realize they are capable of leading and healing. This is amazing.
Yeah, I wish everyone could see this. It's so powerful.
My students and my kids. When I hear my 7th grade males say, I think this generation needs to be kinder to each other, and they make a pact to be nicer. Oh,
Did you burst into tears when you heard that? Things that. Oh my gosh, that is so wonderful.
God's masterpiece, my daughter. All right, 2 more minutes for things that make you feel hopeful. Things, activities, people. Let's get some green sticky notes on here. I don't have any green leaves on there.
Somebody said, seeing these students on here lets me know that students actually care about helping others. So happy. Wonderful. You should see when all 40 are in the room together. Talk about some active jam boards and just really incredibly supportive of one another and completely committed to uplifting others. The National Team Board are breathtaking.
Yeah, I can attest. Seeing my former high school student 5 years later be a great father. Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, I love seeing that.
Seeing my daughter grow into an amazing, kind, and compassionate adult. Good job, parent. All right, 1 more minute to get your leaves on here.
It does look better when there's flowers and leaves and clouds.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say. My dog.
My dog makes me very happy. Seeing my students making right choices. Yes. We're running out of room. That's the best thing on a Jamboard. All right. Thank you all so much for your participation. We've got all kinds of fantastic things on here. Seeing students advocate for one another. Yes, 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 yes. Love this. Awesome. I'm going to stop that screen share and then go back to the slides. All right. And so this is, as Alyssa said, this is what it looked like with the first round of leaves and flowers and whatnot that we did. And then Alyssa, did you want to talk about the other examples we have here?
So the ones that were written on here. Oh, this one, sorry. This is actually the one that, Sally, do you want to actually chime in? Because this is
Yes,
your
so
creation.
this was one that was made out of what the students worked on, 167 students in the Bronx. It's a little bit more free form than the last one. So there's a lot of freedom in how you can engage these things. What I want you to notice here that's kind of cool is some students took the leaves and made plants with them, or they made other flowers with them, or they put flowers within flowers. There was a lot of creativity about how they wanted to make it. And this is done on a flat wall, but I've also done it around a pole in the middle of a cafeteria. The pole was kind of interesting because people could walk around it and access it at different points. So there's a lot of freedom to how you can do this celebration. And what the most important thing is just so that people can read it and people can find other people and connect and listen and be heard.
Okay, and before I get into making NOEA Day easy, I wanted to offer a couple of suggestions of how to make this project culturally responsive. One thing that we do note is one thing you can do is have a box with a slit cut out at the top, and you can collect the responses anonymously, and then you can have the student leaders that are helping you run No One Eats Alone Day collect them and then put them up on the mural later. I've had schools that, maybe lunchtime is just so chaotic, like you have like 1,100 students in a lunchroom. And so what the educator and the student leaders decided to do was hand out the paper cutouts to individual teachers or advisory teachers in advance, like maybe a few days in advance. And then you unveil the mural a few days later on the day that you're celebrating No One Eats Alone. Am I missing any culturally responsive tips? If I am, Sally also will have some in just a few minutes. But in terms of how do we make No One Eats Alone Day easy, my first suggestion is one, reflect for yourself, decide what your capacity is for No One Eats Alone Day. Maybe you just want to do these activities with your advisory or what I used to call my crew, and that's okay. You will have a mural for your classroom. So as you can see on the screen here, what is included in the student leader guide, so the link to the curriculum hub, is the conversation cards that can be printed out individually and distributed. You can choose to just use them as icebreakers or warm-ups at the beginning of a classroom period, as opposed to, oh, well, I'm going to just do this on No One Eats Alone Day. You can preserve them over time. We encourage you to see beyond the day and how can you continue to cultivate belonging after the fact. My second and last piece of advice on making No One Eats Alone Day easy, and I think it's contestable, but getting help from your student leaders. I was a student activities director, and I know that's challenging to orchestrate, but I will say once I was able to rally them up, they're super helpful, and it's so impactful seeing students lead and have agency in creating this culture of belonging. You can have them help you cut out the conversation cards in advance or set up the mural. So again, if you want to kind of display the mural for the first time during lunch, maybe excusing those students half an hour before lunchtime starts to set that up. I think that's it. Thank you.
And I wanted to share with you some tips and tricks for success. You're going to get these beautiful boxes and they have all kinds of really exciting things in them. Try, if you can, to keep it and release it as you do different elements, as you do the activity. If you put it all out on the table, it becomes difficult sometimes because students will be in different parts or they'll be asking you how to do this one or how to do that one. It's easier to keep everyone doing flowers than everybody doing clouds and then everybody doing leaves. And so it also gives time so there's not so much going on that kids can actually talk and connect. Encourage students to do it and engage in their own language. I have lots of them. I have some in Arabic. I have some in Cantonese. I have some in Spanish. And to have that you should see when you tell a kid that they can do it in their own language, and then when other kids are able to connect through those, it's an incredibly powerful tool. I also do it. Sometimes kids feel apprehensive because they're worried about their handwriting or their spelling. And in those cases, I have sat and I tell them I'm your scribe, and so they can tell me, and then I write on them. And then I found especially with English language learners and also students that struggle with reading and writing, that they can more fully engage if I am their scribe. And then I model how to call out what inspires and connects. So I will walk around a room and I will say things like, oh, wow, that's really exciting. I really love how you said that there. can I share it with the rest of the group? And if I get permission, I will say, do you want to share it or do you want me to share it? And then I start calling out to the group. And then as I go around, and if I have a facilitator or a secondary person in the room, and they are also helping identify and call out and having students talk about what they're writing, we can make instant connections in the room and we can model how to do that. The last one is I suggest that you, as the educator, fully make your own flowers, make your own leaves, and make your own clouds, and just so that your students get to know you more. It's a very easy way to connect and to model connection, and also to show that vulnerability that enables them to become closer to you. What you will find when you do these things is what I wanted to show you is kids start writing all over where they can. This young woman put one in every petal and in the center. They start making the idea of turning it into a plant of hope. This was a kid in the Bronx made that up. I had never thought of that you could do multiple things and make a plant. This young person, I love this, put this line in to make it look more like a leaf, and then made a little part where somebody had eaten a piece out of it. So there's all kinds of ways to engage this that really give the ability to have that individual authentic self while connecting with other people. So those are my tips and tricks.
Thanks, Sally. Our curriculum hub, we've mentioned it a couple of times, and we'll put the link again in the chat. So this is the place where you can get direct access to the No One Eats Alone lessons for 2024, and also the student guide. So to help your students organize and lead the day of action and to create the mural, there's instructions. So you can find that all in the curriculum hub. And also we have another link. So if you want the materials to create the mural, we do need to get more information so we can mail it to you. So then there's another link for that. Just wanted to make sure there wasn't confusion with the links. So this is our curriculum hub. And as we've mentioned, and you could tell by our mural, the theme for this year's lesson and for No One Eats Alone is let's grow and plant new connections. And the lessons are designed to help students activate their agency to end social isolation for themselves and others. And highlights of this curriculum, so when you go to the curriculum hub, you'll see in the lessons that we have teacher tips, teacher notes embedded in the lessons. And we also have slide decks that accompany the lessons, and there's speaker notes in there. So you can use these teacher tips and these speaker notes to help tailor the conversation to meet your students' needs and your school needs. Our lessons are also aligned with CASEL's core competencies, social emotional learning core competencies. If you're short on time, there's 5-minute versions that you can implement, and that's in the lessons. And also all of our student-facing materials are available in Spanish. And the next slide. I also want to invite all of you to our Foundations of Social Isolation training, and in February 6th and 12th. And for this training, we're focusing on belonging and specifically looking at boundaries. I know somebody mentioned boundaries before that I gave a shout out to. So we are going to look at the art and skill of creating, communicating, and maintaining our boundaries for yourself and for your students. And we'll do a boundaries 101. So we'll look at some essentials of boundaries and some strategies. And then we're also going to take time to explore this new Beyond Differnces student guide to boundaries that we created. And it's a roadmap with activities, but it's essentially a roadmap to walk you and your students through the process of understanding what boundaries are, creating them, communicating, and maintaining them. And this training aligns with No One Eats Alone's theme and lessons. It's a way to go deeper and build mindset and skills to help your students advocate and to create cultures of belonging. So we're excited to have you join us. We're going to put, and we're providing a lot of links for you all. We're going to put the links in the chat. And I just want to say at the end of the session, we're going to take some time to talk about how we can integrate the ideas from the workshop, from the session into the classroom. So thank you.
Thank you, Lisette. And we had a question in the chat if the two trainings on the 6th and the 12th are the same, and they're just different days of the week and times a day. So you can join whichever one fits best in your schedule. We would also love to invite you to join our free virtual professional development learning community. The learning community is where you can access replays and slideshows from all of our past trainings. You can also archive the past year's curricula. So Alyssa and her team and Beyond Differences have been creating social emotional learning lesson plans for our 3 National Days of Action for years. And in this hub, you can access last year's No One Eats Alone Day. You can access past lessons from Know Your Classmates, from Be Kind Online. So there's a ton of resources in there. And it's also a hub where you can connect with other dedicated teachers. And so I know a number of you on the call today are already members of the learning community, but if you're not a member of the learning community, we strongly encourage you to join us because you can get all of these wonderful things and more. And Sally is going to tell us how to keep the energy going after No One Eats Alone Day.
So we love being able to put out new things that are quick and easy to do. So the National Team Board worked throughout the summer and throughout the year, and we are constantly releasing these new items, which we call belonging boosters. These are quick little activities, discussion prompts, ideas, images, all kinds of things that people can do in a short period of time. One of them is like Helen, one of our National Team Board members, created a belonging booster that teaches you how to make a class playlist. You can, and then from that, making that class playlist, you can make the class get hyped playlist, the class chill playlist. There's all kinds of different ways to access belonging. So I'm glad to have Sophia and Soph in this room because they, this particular Sophie serves on different teams. We have belonging boosters that are just general. They address a lot of different ways of belonging. And then we have ones that are specific to groups. We have a queer visibility. We have a body positivity. We have immigrant and refugee visibility. We have poverty visibility. We have disability visibility, lots of visibility amongst these people. And what they're doing is those are very specific. So if you want to do a day or you want to address or have greater inclusion of these young people within your communities, you can access these specific types of belonging boosters that are written by young people who are members of these communities that they felt would be a wonderful way to create inclusion of them in middle school. So those are available to you. They're constantly coming out. There's new ones all the time. And we're so excited by them. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback.
Thank you, Sally. Yeah, the belonging boosters are fantastic. I hear the chime going off for y'all joining the professional development learning community. Super appreciate it. And we also want to give you the easiest way to keep up with all of our stuff. We have a calendar of belonging that you can add to your Google Calendar, and then you get access to the links for all of our events, whether they are, these National Team Board workshops like this, our National Days of Action, our professional development. And so you can keep up with national programs, national youth programs, and education programs really easily by just adding the calendar of belonging to your calendar so you don't miss anything. And are we already at the end? Oh my gosh. So we do seek feedback on all of our workshops and sessions that we do. You can scan this QR code. I also dropped the link in the chat for the feedback form. The feedback form is anonymous, so we do ask that you please put the name of the workshop in the form itself so we know which workshop it's for. This is the NOEA 2024 #2 workshop. This is our second workshop of the day. But we super appreciate your feedback. We read every single one of them and take the feedback we get to heart. And it's a great way to tell us what else you want to learn. All right, and Simran, you are up next.
Okay, sweet. Hi, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for this workshop. As we promised, one of you are going to win this $50 gift card. So real quick, I'm going to share my screen. Oh, actually, just kidding. Oh, actually, wait, can I? Okay, no, I'm not.
I think you should be able to.
Okay. Oh, no, I can't. Okay. Real quick, I'm going to spin the wheel of names and we're going to find our winner. Okay, 1 second.
Thank you, Simran.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow, another winner. Haley Henry Brown, you are the winner of today's gift card. Congratulations. We will
Thank
reach out to
you.
you via email with that.
Thank you, Simran. All right, and with that, we are done for today. We do have a few minutes left. Look at us ending on time, y'all. So we will stick around if you have questions. Please definitely feel free to come off mute, put your questions in chat. There in chat and on the screen, you have the email addresses for our 3 illustrious directors. You have Alyssa, Sally, and Lisette's emails there. If you have any questions about any of our programs, any of the things that we do, how you can bring Beyond Differences to your school, we are more than happy to be in touch with y'all. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we don't need that there. And yeah, we're going to open it up. If anybody has questions, yeah, feel free to come off mute or drop your questions in the chat, and we're here for you. Simran, I think this is a question for you. How long does it take for the belonging boxes to come?
Yes. All right. So this depends on when you registered or signed up for your belonging box. If you signed up prior to January 20th, I believe you should have received an email confirming a label has been created for you. If you signed up between January 20th versus now, you will be receiving that email in the next couple days. I would add a solid 7 to 10 days from that date to receive your belonging box. And please feel free to reach out to me anytime if you'd really like to know exactly when your belonging box will arrive.
Thanks, Simran.
Yeah.
We got lots of thanks happening in the chat. We are also super excited, Leslie. Have y'all gotten your box yet? I feel like folks in the Bronx probably got your boxes earlier than others. Thanks, Carl. Fantastic. Thank you, Jill.
I just have a question, the belonging box. If we did put it in we did do the form before, would it come specifically to us at our school, or would you just send it to the school?
Yeah, so when you fill out the registration form, there is a box that you can click to share another address that you would prefer your belonging box to be shipped to. Please feel free to reach out to me. I can check for you specifically where the box is going if you'd like. Alyssa, please feel free to chime in.
It does get addressed to the person that registered. So it will say like, attention, Alyssa Ching, Leaders High
Yeah.
School.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good questions. All right, if y'all don't have other questions, you are more than welcome to steal back these 9 minutes of your evening And yeah, we will, Beyond Differences staff will stick around in case you have other questions, but thank you all so much for your time. We super, super appreciate you being here, and we are very excited to be celebrating No One Eats Alone Day with you this year.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great training.
Awesome. Thanks, Katana.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, Frederick, and
Hey, Pamela, how are you? Are you driving?
yeah,
Be safe.
but I'm on hands-free. So I wanted to just share something with you that was so powerful. If you guys have a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. We are being recorded, just so
That's
no, no
okay.
names.
No name. No. So I was doing one of the lesson ones, and I did it in the structure of a circle with one of my classes, and I had them paired up, and they were sharing like one of the emotions. But I did a whole introduction about how there's factors of somebody love. So before we do that, we need to like have language under the belt, talk about emotions like that. So anyway, we were doing it, and during the discussion, one of the kids, I was like, nobody wanted to be vulnerable, nobody wanted to say, and finally one of the kids took a chance, said like, oh, all of us have been like, oh, socially isolated, to use that term. And then one of the kids started crying and said, I feel alone at lunch every single day. And this girl never talked about how she feels, her emotions, ever. And she said, I don't feel like I have any friends, even though she sits with friends. And it started this entire conversation with another group of girls who sometimes they isolate her, sometimes they don't. And you could see on their faces the power of the effects of this conversation. And that day, I told them, you don't have to wait for it to summer 16th. You guys can start acting on this every day now. And when I went downstairs for after school, those girls were sitting with the girls with children that was crying in the circle. So I just wanted to both pass that on. This is so inspiring, moving, not inspiring, moving, but also because in this, we need to be ready for what also may come out. I just want to share.
Thank you, Pamela. That is, yeah, that is very moving. I am really glad that using these lessons in your classroom gave your students the opportunity to put language to how they were feeling and to make those connections with each other and be honest and be vulnerable, because it is scary. It's hard. But it's so good to hear that it's working. We're doing it, y'all.
Yeah.
Pamela, thank you.
Have a great evening. I'll see you guys the next time.
You
So
too. Drive
sorry.
safely, Pamela.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Rubina, did I see you come off mute?
Yes. I wanted you to know that our school, the girls were arguing their point today with the principal for how to run No One Eats Alone Day. And it was so much that the principal asked if we can extend it for more than just this week. So she's planning to break ours up into 3 sessions, just so that the girls can get their entire project done. Is that okay?
I love that.
That's so sweet.
Okay, because they were
Yes.
Yes. Of
Oh,
course.
we love that. Yeah.
Just-
Yeah. Extend it as long as you want.
all right. Thank you so
Rubina,
much.
what grade are they in?
6 through 8.
Mm,
So they're
That's
learning
awesome.
to advocate for themselves as well as for their peers.
yeah.
And they just loved this one. Especially, they argued their budget. It's now up to 4,000.
Wow.
gone crazy.
Okay. Okay.
That's a good story.
They got a
Yeah.
Wow,
Knicks player coming or something?
We don't even have a guest speaker yet. Don't let them find that out that could be a
Yeah.
possibility. That would be good. But
Ruby.
I just want you to know, so we'll send you guys lots of pictures of the
Yes,
events
please do.
that take place, okay?
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
And Rubina, make sure that those 8th graders especially get the application for the National Team Board, because those are the voices we want advocating at this level too.
Oh, I definitely will make sure they have it. All right. Thank you guys very much. We all enjoy
Thank
this
you.
and
Good
look
night.
to. Good night.
Thanks,
Thank
Rubina.
you. Have a good evening.
And on that note, I'm going to say good night as well. Thank you all for hosting this. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Oh, Keith, you're muted.
I just wanted to say thank you as well for a great training and also introduce myself. I was Lily Rachel Smith, homeschool teacher.
Oh, I remember you on the video.
God, what, 18, 16, 17 years ago.
I remember you on the video. Yeah.
What's that?
You're-
Yeah, I'm
you're
on one
on
of
the
the videos
video.
that's on the
Yeah.
website. Yeah.
You looked familiar. I was like, did I work with you? But yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And you're still teaching?
I'm a school administrator now.
Oh,
Where are
great.
you?
Yeah. So I'm at Headlands Prep School in Sausalito. And I taught for a very long time, taught high school history for a long time in the Bay Area. And so, you know, I used to be very involved with Beyond Differences and do a ton of stuff with
Yeah.
Laura back when she was kind of running stuff. And so it's just fun to be back in the loop. And I just want to say thank you for the training. And
Hey,
yeah.
Keith, can
Yeah.
you tell us a Lily story? Because we never knew her, but with all of this work that we do and we talk about her all the time. Do you have
Yeah.
a Lily story?
For sure. I got a lot of good Lily stories. I mean, I just remember when she first came to me as a 7th grader, just how down she was on herself and on life in general. And obviously it had a rough go and, you know, medically, socially, physically, in a lot of ways, academically. And I remember her resistance to wanting to even try anything. She would be like, you can't make me do that. Like, you know, I have special needs and you can't make me do that. And I'm like, yeah, I can. And so I remember we used to do PE and she wouldn't walk more than 10 feet and say, you can't make me do this. And so we would drive out into the middle of the woods and I would hike her out into the middle and then I would run back to the car. You know, this was after a few months and we had built relationship and I kind of told her parents what I was doing. And sure enough, by after working with her I worked with her for 2 years. After about a year of working with her, we were running a few miles a day together.
Oh.
And
Wow.
so just the power of transformation and believing in yourself and having people believe in you. I mean, it's really, yeah, I mean, Lily's story is so inspiring and I still look to her for inspiration all the time in my life.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. That is
Yeah.
huge because we don't get a lot of stories from educators, and I appreciate that so much.
Thanks
Right
for
on.
introducing yourself.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
also good to see you, Mr. Fleming. I don't know if you remember me, but I happened to be one of your history students a long time ago.
Ah,
Yes. I
What a
was like,
small-
I saw the name. I was like,
Yeah.
Encore, and like, you look kind of familiar, but like, you're all grown up, you know?
Right. It's been more than 10 years, but it's great to see you.
Hey, good to see you too. Look at that. Connections all over the place. Cool. Well, thanks everybody so much. Encore, good to see you.
Take care.
All right.
Thank